So students, today we are going to discuss about drug distribution system in a hospital. So this term, when you read it, it seems to sound very simple, but there are some procedures, there are some SOPs by means of which the distribution of the drugs to the patient. Now here, to the patient means it refers to both inpatient and outpatient. What are the mechanisms, what are the procedures, what are the SOPs by means of which the drug distribution takes place? We are going to discuss in our today's lecture. So if you see the definition, what is drug distribution? It is simply the physical transfer of drugs from storage area in the hospital to the patient's bedside. So where the patient is admitted, to that particular area the physical transfer of the drugs takes place. From where? From the storage area. So here it includes overall drug distribution, its utilization process in the hospital, and yes, as I told you in the earlier that it seems to be very simple term, but infinite number of procedures as well as many personnel, many departments, equipment and storage facilities are required. So here mainly the prescription practice of that of the physician, then requisiting, that is requisite form by the nurses station takes place, followed by transfer from stores for dispensing at pharmacy, then pre-packaging, labeling, and then final distribution from pharmacy stores through inpatient and outpatient window takes place. So physician will first prescribe the drug, requisite form will be given by the nurses through the nursing station, and then that form goes to the dispensing area of the pharmacy. After receiving its pre-packaging, labeling and final distribution of the drug then takes place. So pharmacy, hospital pharmacy department, which we have seen in the initial topics, it follows or it operates through SOPs for the distribution of the drug, and it ensures that at every point those SOPs for safe distribution of quality of the drugs takes place to all the patients within the hospital. The first point, that is dispensing of drugs to the inpatients. Inpatient means what? These are the patients who require hospitalization, or they may get admitted themselves in order to perform a particular surgery or a procedure which is required, and they stay there until and unless the treatment is continued. We know that when the patients are admitted in the hospital, whatever the medication, drugs are given to them, that are given only upon the written order from the physician. Now this medication prescription order, it originates in the patient clinical record. So clinical record or that file which is placed for each patient. So there in that particular file, the physician who visits to the patient, he generates or he writes or he prescribes the drug. From there it is transmitted to the pharmacy by the following ways, or there are different ways. So first, the prescription order is written in a separate form by the physician. तो जो फाइल रहती है वहाँ पे प्रिस्क्रिप्शन ऑर्डर रहता है. On that the physician writes the prescription order. Next, the carbon copy of the prescription order is then sent to the pharmacist. Original नहीं जाती, लेकिन carbon copy it goes to the pharmacist. that prescription order is copied by hospital personnel assigned to the nursing station. Okay. So prescription order is copied by hospital personnel assigned to the nursing station. Clear? So there are different types of drug distribution system. Till now I think you might have come to know what is drug distribution system. Now we are going to discuss types of drug distribution system. So first we are going to see the drug distribution system particularly for inpatient, and they may be classified as follows. So mainly there are four types. First, individual prescription order system. Now when we say individual means what? जो भी प्रिस्क्रिप्शन है वो इंडिविजुअल है या इंडिविजुअल के जो वॉट एवर द रिलेटिव्स आर देयर दे विल टेक दैट प्रिस्क्रिप्शन एंड देन दे विल take those drugs and then they will purchase it, they will pay for it. Okay. Next is complete floor stock system. Now this distribution takes place through the floor stock system, which is again of two types, that is charged floor stock drugs. Charge means that the drugs which are charged, which includes again envelope method. Second is non-floor stock drugs, which includes drug basket method and mobile dispensing unit. Now, when we say non-charged floor stock drugs means what? The charges of those drugs under different schemes by the government, the drugs will be not charged, and accordingly whatever the drugs will be there, that will be distributed by the pharmacist through either drug basket method or by mobile dispensing unit. And third is the combination of individual and floor stock system. Fourth is unit dose dispensing system. Now when we say unit dose dispensing system, here it mainly means that the drugs are given depending upon the individualization of the patient. We will discuss in detail about that. And this unit dose dispensing system are mainly of two types: centralized unit dose dispensing and decentralized unit dose dispensing. So first is individual prescription order system. So it is very simple. So it is a type of prescription system where the physician writes the prescription for individual patient who obtains the drug prescribed from any medical store. So it is not mandatory that he may obtain those drugs only from the hospital pharmacy which is attached to the hospital. He may obtain the drugs from outside of the hospital, from any medical store or from the hospital by paying own charges. So this particular system is mainly followed in private hospital because of its economic consideration and reduced manpower requirement. So because if the system has to be established, proper system, particularly the floor stock system and those that we will discuss, it requires many personnel over there. Here less personal, less economic consideration is taken, and due to that this particular system is followed in small or private hospital. So what are the advantages of this individual prescription order system? So prescription goes to the pharmacist. So those prescription or medication orders are directly reviewed by pharmacist. Well, it also helps to provide the interaction between the pharmacist and doctor, or pharmacist and nurse, and pharmacist and the patient. So through this interaction, properly one can establish the proper medication order, and it gives clear control of inventory, how much stock has to be maintained, how much drugs are to be kept in emergency. So inventory control that can be established very properly. Coming to the disadvantages of individual prescription order system. So there may be a possible delay in obtaining the required medication for administration to the patient, because those particular medications, prescription order will be prepared by the physician, then that medication order will be taken by the individual patient. So patient will not take, or his relatives may take it, and he will then collect those drugs. So time required will be more. The other, in the floor stock system, what happens that some of the essential drugs are kept at the nursing station within the ward or in that particular unit. So immediately those nurses will take those drugs from there and they will administer to the patient. So delay will be minimized, delay in time. Second disadvantage is increase in the cost to the patient. So whatever the cost of the drug is there, it is increased, because here in bulk the drugs may be not purchased, and due to that the cost of the drug to the patient might be get increased. Second drug distribution system to inpatient is complete floor stock system. So here what is done is that whatever the drugs are there which are required, so not all drugs but most of the drugs, out of 100, 70 to 80% of the drugs which are required, that are stored at the nursing station and that are administered by the nurse according to the chart order of the physician. So physician, when he prepares the medication order, the drugs are then administered by the nurses. So this particular system is most often used in private hospitals in India. So the drugs are stored in the pharmacy store. No doubt, first the drugs will come to the pharmacy store, then they will supply to the wards or rooms on order and kept under the supervision of registered nurse at nursing station. Simple. Understood? So complete floor stock system, जहाँ पे where the drugs are kept at the nursing station and it is under the supervision of the registered nurse. So what are the advantages? Yes, the drugs will be readily available for administration, there will be no delay, minimum return of the drugs will take place, then reduced inpatient prescription orders. So whatever the prescription orders will be there, मतलब क्या होता है कि first the doctor will give the drugs, again the next drugs, number of prescription orders will be more. In this case there will be less number of prescription orders. Then reduction in the number of pharmacy personnel required. Obviously what is going to happen, number of pharmacy personnel required will be get reduced, and it also ensures easy and prompt delivery of the required drugs. Coming to the disadvantages of complete floor stock system. So here there are chances of increase in the medication errors may take place. How? Because there it is not under the supervision of pharmacy, it is under the supervision of the nurse. So complete knowledge of the drug is obviously to the pharmacist. So there are chances that medication errors may take place while dispensing the drug by the nurse when they are stored in the nursing station. Then whatever the drug inventory is there, it will be obviously required more, because at each department, at each ward, the drug has to be kept at the nursing station. So obviously what is going to happen, that the drug inventory is going to be increased. Next disadvantage is increased chances of drug deterioration. So if proper storage facilities or if the drugs are left unnoticed for long duration of time, deterioration of the drugs is going to be get increased. And yes, this will cause an increase, or this causes an increased workload on the nurses. So these are some of the disadvantages of complete floor stock system. Now third drug distribution system to the patient is combination of individual and floor stock system. So it is a combination of what? Individual, जो हमने पहले डिस्कस किया, and the floor stock system. So falling into this category are those hospitals which use the prescription order system as the primary means of dispensing and also utilize the limit floor stock system. मतलब combination of both. Some drugs maybe get stored. There are hospitals which will follow only individual. There are hospitals which will completely follow floor stock system. But there are some hospitals which will follow both individual as well as the floor stock system method. So this system, even when we visit the hospital, in certain cases, if any of our relative is admitted or family member is admitted, we know that or we can find that this system is commonly used in hospitals nowadays. So selection of charged floor stock drugs. Okay, so charged drugs, जो हमने देखा था, there are two types: charged floor stock drug and non-charged floor stock drug. So the drug should be placed under the category of charged drugs depending on the pharmacy and the therapeutic committee. So there is one committee, that is PTC, we will be discussing in detail about it, which mainly decides that which drugs are to be charged and which drugs are not to be charged depending upon the policies of government as well as depending upon the type of the patient under which scheme he or she has been admitted. So this committee will be concerned with the availability of the therapeutically effective drugs and the immediate use for diagnosis or symptomatic treatment. So this committee decides hospital formulary, this committee decides the proper functioning of the drug distribution, and depending upon that the charged drugs and the list will be prepared by this. Then selection of non-charged floor stock drugs, a list of non-charged drugs will be prepared. So there are drugs which are sponsored or which are given free of cost by WHO. For example, drugs which are used for the treatment of tuberculosis, they are free of cost. So like those drugs, a list is prepared and then they are not charged. And preparation is done mainly on the following criteria: the cost of the preparation, अगर preparation करना पड़ता है किसी drug का, what is the cost, the frequency of the use, what quantity is required, and also the hospital budget. So some hospital like charitable hospitals, so they may not charge the even if they are not supplied by any government scheme, but hospital, particularly the charitable hospitals, they may decide even if it is a chargeable drug, they may include it under the non-chargeable drugs. Okay, so this is the third, that is combination of individual and floor stock system. Next is unit dose dispensing system, the fourth one. So unit dose packages are defined as those medications which are ordered, carefully listen, which are ordered, medications which are ordered, packed, handled and administered and charged in multiples of single dose units containing a predetermined amount of a drug or supply sufficient for one regular use, application or use. So the name itself tells, it is unit dose dispensing. So the hospital may receive the drugs in bulk. Advantage of taking the drugs in bulk is that it becomes cost effective to the patient. So in unit dose packaging, once the prescription order is received or the medication order is received, it is the role of the pharmacist, or pharmacist is held responsible for unit dose dispensing system, where he then packs, handles and administers those drugs in a single dose unit. So example, you can see that single dose disposable syringes of medication, okay, and single unit foil or cellophane wrapped capsules and tablets are then prepared from the bulk supply. So what are the advantages of unit dose dispensing? Better financial control, as I told earlier, that in bulk the drugs will be taken and then unit dispensing of the drug will be done by the pharmacist. Obviously the financial control will be very good. Then it prevents the loss of partially used medications. So the partially used medication which will be there, its loss will be get reduced. Then it doesn't require storage facilities at the nursing station. At the nursing station, storage facilities are not required. It eliminates the labeling errors and there is accurate medication charge. Okay, so these are some of the advantages of unit dose dispensing. Now there are two methods of dispensing unit dose. First is centralized unit dose dispensing and second one is decentralized unit dose dispensing. So I hope so you have understood what is unit dose dispensing. Drugs come into the bulk. Pharmacist is the person who is responsible for unit dose dispensing of the drug. How the unit dose dispensing will be done? Prescription will be received, he'll then pack, administer and charge the drugs, okay, depending upon the unit dose dispensing system. So first category under unit dose dispensing system is centralized unit dose dispensing, CUDD. So all inpatient drugs are dispensed in unit dose and all the drugs are stored in central area of the pharmacy and dispensed at the time of the dose is to be given to the patient. So simple, centralized unit dose dispensing what? All inpatient drugs are dispensed in unit dose where in the central area of the pharmacy, and how they are dispensed or when they are dispensed at the time when the drug has to be given to the patient. So here the drugs are transferred from the pharmacy to the indoor patient by medication cards. So medication card, when it is received, those drugs are available or kept in the centralized area of the pharmacy, and upon receiving of the prescription order or medication card, then the pharmacist will dispense those drugs to the patient. Second is decentralized unit dose dispensing, DUDD. So this particularly operates through small satellite pharmacies located on each floor of the hospital. Now see, here there is a difference. In centralized, only at the centralized pharmacy store, only the drugs will be kept. Now this is the concept where at each floor the pharmacy is available, which we call as a small satellite pharmacy, and there the drugs will be kept. So what will be the procedure? Patient profile card containing full date, disease and diagnosis is prepared. पेशेंट का जो प्रोफाइल है उसका नाम, उस डेट, ठीक है, डिजीज कौन सी है, क्या डायग्नोसिस हुआ है. देन वंस द प्रिस्क्रिप्शन इज प्रिपेयर्ड, इट इज सेंड डायरेक्टली टू द pharmacist, and when it comes to the pharmacist, he enters in the patient profile card. Pharmacist checks thoroughly the medication order. Patient profile card and prescription order is filled by the pharmacy technician. So pharmacy technician will then fill or prepare those particular prescription order. And finally the nurses administer the drugs and makes the entry in their records. So this is step by step procedure. So here floor, on each floor these satellite pharmacies are present. So what are the advantages? First advantage is easy for the administration staff. Okay, it becomes easy. Whatever the distribution of the drug, filling of the drug, unit dose packaging of the drug, it becomes easy for the administration staff. Accounting becomes easy in certain cases. Stability of the product is maintained properly. For example, like fruit salt in sachet, so it may come in bulk depending upon the drug. Okay, give the drugs in unit dose and distribute it. What are the disadvantages? The cost becomes high. Why it becomes high? Because at each floor you have to maintain the pharmacy. Number of personnel, number of technicians required will be more, so cost will be get increased. Consumes more time and doubtful, because here in between the patient and the pharmacy, or in between the medication order and the pharmacist, many personnel are coming. Then occupy more space for storing. Space requirement will be increased, and layer posting and inventory control problem is major concern over here. So more inventory, more amount of drug has to be stored, at each floor. So inventory is going to be increased. So this is about the drug distribution system. After distribution, next comes the charging policy and labeling of the drug in the hospital. Obviously, it is necessary to charge from patient for dispensing of prescription in order to meet the expenses. So जो भी expenses है उसको अगर meet करना है, hospital run करना है, we need to give the payment of the all personnel who are working in the hospital. So for that, charging policy should be appropriate. So costing the prescription is a policy matter decided by hospital management in consultation with the pharmacy in charge. So what are the charges to be kept? It is decided by the hospital management in coordination or consultation with the pharmacy in charge. So low income group patients are exempted from costing or they are charged at concessional rate. Low income group, like in India, the orange ration card people, they are exempted from many charges. So depending upon that also, this charging policy is framed by the hospital management. Then prescription cost can be calculated by adding conversion cost into material cost. So what cost has to be kept? Material cost is the one at what cost the material will be purchased. Conversion cost is the one how much technician, how much administrative staff, how much physician, pharmacist, how much nursing staff are required, and according to that the cost of the drug is then decided. Okay, so this is what is the charging policy and labeling. Fourth is dispensing of drugs to the ambulatory patients. So till now we have seen about the dispensing of the drug to the inpatient. Now next comes how the drugs are dispensed to the ambulatory patients. So ambulatory patients are also referred to as an outpatients. It refers to the patient not admitted in the hospital. Outpatient यानी क्या? These are the patients who are not admitted in the hospital. So in the modern era, the ambulatory care or outpatient setting has taken special important interest among the healthcare professionals. So even though they are not admitted in the hospital, yet they are very important for the hospital as well as for the healthcare professionals. So labeling requirement for drug dispensed to the ambulatory patient. So when the drugs are to be given, certain labeling requirement is essential. So whatever the labels are there, it must contain name, address, telephone of the dispenser, person who dispenses the drugs, then full name of the patient, name of the drug, its strength and amount dispensed, directions to the patient regarding how to use the drugs, name of the prescribing practitioner who has prescribed the drug, name or initials of dispensing individual and date dispense, DEA, that is Drug Enforcement Authority. So this is the authority which gives certain guidelines while distribution of the drug, and accordingly the caution labels for patient, ancillary labels for safe use of the drugs has to be prepared. Next in the label, it must contain pharmacy's identifying serial number which has to be affixed to the container of unit of use packaged drugs issued by the pharmacy. So whatever the serial number is there, it has to be affixed. Okay, so it applies only to drugs dispensed from an outpatient pharmacy. Whatever the serial number is there, it has to be affixed. All drugs dispensed to the outpatient will be packed to conform to the Poison Prevention Packaging Act, that is PPPA. So this is the act. According to that, the drugs which are dispensed to the outpatient, it has to conform according to that particular act. So what are the categories of ambulatory patient? So ambulatory patient may require some emergency care, or he may be referred, or he may go through tertiary care or through the primary care. Next is dispensing of the controlled drug. Now, what are the controlled drugs? Controlled drugs are the one which are to be kept under the strict supervision of a medical superintendent. So these are mainly the narcotic and the psychotropic drugs. So these drugs are kept under lock and key, and a separate register should be maintained to register the drugs. So chief pharmacist, he procures, stores and dispenses this particular controlled drug. Whatever the prescription of the narcotic drugs and psychotic substances, okay, it has to comply through the Act of Narcotic and Psychotropic Substances 1985, and it must include the following information: patient's full name, his address, date, name and strength of the drug, quantity of the drug which has to be given, signature of the prescriber, and dose and route of the administration. If it happens that if the required drug is not in the stock, the complete controlled drug prescription must be written on hospital prescription blank form by registered medical practitioner and signed by him. Whatever the delivery of the narcotic drugs is there from the pharmacy to the ward, it has to be carried out by the reliable person. So this is very important, because these drugs, controlled drugs, are to be strictly kept under vigilance. After dispensing, nurses resume responsibility for administration, control and auditing of the inventory. So it is after prescription, or after dispensing, it is the responsibility of the nurses to properly administer, control and audit the inventory of that particular drugs. If in case a patient refuses or doctor cancels any dose after dispensing, nurses should destroy those drugs. It is not that it should be brought back. Nurses should destroy those drugs into the sink and record in a form that is refused by patient or cancelled by doctor. Okay, so this is all about dispensing of the controlled drug.